Welcome to XR Dev Chat. On this episode, I am really excited to be speaking with Roy Roydenhäuser. He is a London-based creative technologist with more than 12 years of experience at multinational companies from 2013 to 2021. He played a key role in driving innovation at Yahoo. He later contributed in real-time 3D industry-focused projects at both Unity and Capgemini, where he is currently employed. But in 2024, Roy founded Canvastique3D, a really cool product that began as a proof of concept and quickly captured widespread attention online. There's a lot of cool Insta videos and things where showing people get excited about it, and is now launching as a tool that integrates tactile experiences into digital design. Roy, how are you today?
Hello, hi Jeff. Yeah, I'm doing very well, and yeah, thank you so much for having me here to your podcast. It's such a pleasure, and yeah, I really love talking about Canvas 6 3D. So this is a great thing, and thanks again for extending the invite.
It's my pleasure. I would love to delve into your experience with other solutions that you've created and other projects you've worked on, but I think Canvastique 3D is the star for today. So why don't we just jump in? What does it do, and who would use it, and why would they use it?
Yeah. So what does it do? Well, it tries to connect physical materials with digital visualization, but in such a way that there is no delay. So it's completely real time. And what does it mean is that if you are, for example, a designer that wants to preview a physical design, which could be a painting or a piece of fabric or any other material onto the surface of a product, you can do that seamlessly in real time. And all it takes is essentially a camera, a webcam, and everything, as I said, happens in real time. So, if, for example, you are applying paint on a surface, you will see those actions happen on the surface of the product itself. So, it's as intuitive as using just the tools that you normally use, your physical tools. So that's in essence what Canvastic 3D is.
And it's just astounding to me too how quickly an artist, can visualize their design in real life on the real product, on the real canvas, whether it's an object for sale or something like that, or consumer good. And I was just thinking about how much of an amazing tool this is for creators, and what inspired this tool. What made you create it?
I think it was about that exploration of how to blend the physical world with the digital one, and of course platforms like and devices like virtual reality headsets or nowadays mixed reality headsets. They're amazing for that, to demonstrate a proof of concept or an idea that you might have on how to blend the two worlds together in real time, and making both sides very tangible. So prior to Chemistry 3D, I've been doing some other experiment that try to do that in perhaps in other fields, like in cultural heritage, for example. But this, I would say, this is the one that probably resonated the most with the people I shared it with, and I love to share my my proof of concepts as video online, so on platforms like LinkedIn or Instagram, just because that offers the opportunity to kind of try to validate your idea. And it is also a very social thing, of course, and it's about also about connecting with other people and see if they react in a similar way to what you created, right? Is it just myself who thinks this is good, or are there other people from different backgrounds with different disciplines that see something in it? So, well, that's how it started. It was an exploration of blending physical with digital, and also lastly, I would say it was about trying to reimagine what the workspace of the future might look like. And this was even more so during the lockdown. We were constrained in our homes. We would spend even more time using digital tools and devices. Even the social aspect was digital. So I grew a bit frustrated by that, and I thought, why cannot have a better relationship with or spend more time with physical objects that are not just a mouse, a keyboard, or the glass surface of a tablet or mobile phone. So that, I would say, was also the second motivation for Canvastique 3D.
One thing that I'm focused on with this podcast is speaking with persons like yourself who are architecting the future tools, the things that creators will use to create the world that we will occupy in the future.
One of the first version utilized a HoloLens device,
Mm-hmm.
and I did that because initially I just wanted to show what the future could look like, how interfaces might change in the future, so that digital technology adapts to human requirements, which are more physical. And yeah, so that's how it started with a HoloLens device, and as you said, a camera looking down. But then when I understood that this idea had a potential, I had to start decide how people will utilize it. Would it be a mobile phone? Would it be a HoloLens device, a MetaQuest device? And finally, I think I never took that decision. So essentially, now is a cross-device,
Mm-hmm.
web-based application that works on your desktop machine. So is really up to you, the setup you want to use. Do you want to use the integrated camera of your mobile phone, so that perhaps when you are on the street, you see something interesting, you can visualize that texture, that surface immediately on your product that you're working on, and then go home and work on and continue working on a desktop machine, or have a more professional setup with professional lights, a camera looking down, or use a mixed reality headset like the MetaQuest. And I love virtual reality, mixed reality in general. I'm very enthusiastic about it, but I never try to force it into a solution. So the way it exists in Canvastique 3D right now is optional and is meant to be occasional. So you do something very quick, let's say with your mobile phone or your desktop machine, you go through fabric materials, or perhaps you're painting or doing some other type of physical design. And when you like something, if you want to experience it on the product as if the product were in front of you, sharing the same space, well, then at that point, I think is when you want to wear the mixed reality headset and grab the product using your own hands, thanks to the hand tracking capabilities of the device.
Yeah, that was such an impressive aspect of it to be able to kind of grab, manipulate, size up, size down, rotate. You offered in that last statement that there was a moment where there was some more adoption. You started to get a sense of traction with the solution. What was that like?
Well, it was surprising. It was really surprising because the solution right now it aims at something very quick, very casual. It's not, I would say, it's not like precise. It doesn't generate, let's say, PBR material or intricate texture that react to virtual light and so on. It doesn't do that at all. But what really surprised me that most of people didn't need that. They just wanted something very quick, and that
Hmm.
made me understand. Well, if then they need to create high quality or physically based render textures, they already know there's other set of tools for that, right? But they wanted Canvastique 3D for what it does, which is immediate
Mhm.
preview of of design. And yeah, and the reactions were. I was very surprised, and some people reached out, they messaged me, they told me the use case where they wanted to implement the solution. So that gave me a lot of information, a lot of learnings. And some people came from big leading companies in fashion industry. And I was really surprised when they mentioned things about how much time the solution could save them. And yeah, so it was overall incredibly surprising, and also a very important learning experience that is still informing what I'm doing today with the tool.
But also, you have another project called the Slice AR that is out on the App Store at AR DICOM Slicer. So essentially, a way to push through, almost like you're slicing in real time, images that perhaps from something like a radiology, a DICOM file. What was the development of that?
Before sharing about this too, I probably would like to say that if all these solutions have something in common, is the use of hands. So the manuality involved in using the tools, using these tools as an interface. So Canvastique, you do that with the physical materials. You also do that when wearing the Quest device, using hand tracking, and with Slicer, which is a play of words between Slicer and AR, augmented reality. You're also
Hmm.
using your hands to control a cross-section plane. So essentially, your device, the surface of your device, becomes the cross-section plane that slices through the volume, which might be rendering a MRI scan of a brain, for example. So it's incredibly intuitive. You're not using your mouse. You're not restricted to just, let's say, three axes. You're using your hands, and it's something that you really have to try, because that immediate feedback between what you're doing with your hands and what you see, that is what makes the experience, I would say, fascinating and very intuitive. And by the way, the experience, the demo is available on the App Store, and I still consider it a demo because you cannot right now you can only explore one data set, but there will be more to come, and eventually I want to implement the possibility to import your own DICOM files. But yeah, you can test it today if you have an iPhone device, an iPad, ideally a recent one, or even better if you have one of the pro versions with the lidar sensor. That would be even better because you have even a more precise position tracking of the device position.
This is one of those applications that I feel like I'm watching the future. When I saw the demo for it, it just seems like something that that would be in a sci-fi film or something, because it's so, like you said, kind of tactile, and a user can guide it just exactly where they want. I imagine a surgeon or somebody in the future being able to go right into where they may be diagnosing a certain cancer or something like that. So it just looks like an amazingly useful tool. The virtual museum display is interesting to me. Does that come from kind of another interest set?
Yeah, cultural heritage, I would say, cultural heritage museum, and and also the Mayan history. I have a somewhat interest. So yeah, I have a mixed background. So you can see my surname is German, but I also have roots in Mexico. So I like a mix between Swiss, Italian, Mexican,
Mhm.
and when growing up, I grew fascinated about uh, the Maya as a civilization and anything related to it. And nowadays, I live in London, and when I go to places like the British Museum, I can observe objects that come from those places, which is an incredible experience to me. I think for anyone. So that's where it comes from. So that's why I decided to do something in that space. And what I wanted to do with that particular demo, which I refer to as a virtual museum display, is to kind of bring some element of uh, uh, of magic. And I think there's also somewhat direct note to you're probably aware of the movie Night at the Museum, and there's a
Absolutely, yes.
particular scene that I loved where the inhabitants of a scale model they come to life, and I wanted to replicate that, but in such a way that you are illuded that that is happening in front of you. It's not just a movie; it's actually happening in front of you. And I'm using a 3D display from a company called Illumetry. They created this amazing device. It works with glasses, but they're very lightweight. The tracking is very good. The quality is really good. What you see, and that's why I decided to go with that particular display.
Hmm.
And through the display, what you see is a depiction of a Mayan structure. It's like a Mayan building, and there is a small, a tiny Maya villager walking around. And right now, that's all it does. But some days I'll probably update the same project, and that's what I normally do. I go back to a project, I update it, I add more features, and I continue doing that. So eventually, it will probably give you a tour of what you're seeing. But when you see it through the display to you becomes like a transparent glass behind which there is a physical scale model. That's the illusion with a little miniature that actually comes to life. And you can also use a stylus to shine a light
Oh yeah.
onto the model. And I
Hmm.
love doing that. I love doing that because as soon, again, I'm going back to the concept of using your hands. As soon as you're using your hand to throw the light, and the light affects the digital, the virtual model, uh, it's again it you know you have this fascinating sensation, right? It's very stimulating to your brain. Your brain, I think, accepts it in that moment, accepts it as if it were real. It's a physical
Hmm.
object. It's not a digital one anymore. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's the other one. And yeah, I also have a here's a here's a physical version of uh, of the model
Oh wow.
that we see in that
Hey,
demo.
that's great.
This one is not painted. I will paint it eventually. I will paint it as well.
Hmm.
So I have a tiny version. I also have a physical version of the villager because I always love doing that. If it's possible, I want to create the same virtual object physically because it helps me. It helps me come up with ideas, test ideas first physically, and then digitally.
So I don't want to take up your whole day, but I do want to know if you were to, is there some passion project that you have, or something you're looking forward to doing in the future, or something you're obsessed with, or what are you working on that you can share?
Yeah, well, things I'm working on are the ones that I think we already shared. So
Hmm.
Slicer is one, but I want to make it so that you can import your own DICOM files and explore more of those. The virtual museum display, yes, I want to bring the character to life. So being able to actually have a conversation with them and learn more about a certain topic. So those two eventually I want to evolve them into what I originally imagined for them. And when it comes to Canvastique3D, that one also is going to evolve. I'm in the middle of that, and other projects. Yeah, I keep thinking. What else I could do, and possibly it's going to be on the same lines of Canvastique3D, something that tries to change the way that the way we work with digital tools and try to change our workspace, or at least the one of people like me who spend a lot of hours in front of a desk and a screen. I want to change that and try to perhaps find other ways to interface with the digital world that doesn't have to necessarily require those aspects, but make it more natural, more physical. So eventually, I want to come up with more ideas that have those elements in common.
Well, this is a crystal ball moment. Do you have any thoughts or a prediction about how you think extended reality applications or tools are going to change the world for the better, the worse? Anything that you see coming down the road?
Yeah, well, I have many. Yeah, I have many expectations, and I keep talking about Canvastique 3D, but that's because it's my possibly one of my deepest dreams to change, do, do something that I can also use to work with digital elements by in a completely different ways. And I see tools, technologies like virtual reality, mixed reality, and AI as an opportunity to change that, to have less excuses to interface only with mouse and keyboard, because now computers, they can gain an understanding of what's in front of you, of the space that's in front of you, but also the meaning of what's in front of you, which is so important, and be able to act and assist you on that, understand your past decisions, and be able to predict your future ones to a point when that perhaps whatever you're trying to do, whether it's painting something or sculpting something with clay, or whatever activity, perhaps you won't even need to ask anything to an AI assistant, because it will already know what you need and bring up to you the tools and any resources that you need to accomplish what you're trying to do. So that's my expectation. Yes, it's a positive one. I'm very positive about these technologies.
Well, thank you. And thank you for moving us forward in that direction with Canvastique 3D. So folks can go to canvastique3d.com and learn more and do a demo. I think you can sign up for an online demo and to use the tool. And I know it also has the name of your partners. You have a few partners in this enterprise at that website too. So we'll get to know that it's not just Roy doing everything. There's other people involved with it also. I am very grateful for your participation today on XR Dev Chat, and it's been very much a pleasure to speak with you. And I'm looking forward to seeing new projects that you work on and following your work and following the growth of Canvastique 3D in the future.
Thank you, Jeff. I really loved having this conversation with you. And I hope to see you again and maybe be invited again to your podcast. Thank you.